Hey, welcome. Enjoying your blended family,
What's
all
up?
the B-fams out there.
It's Friday.
It is. It is a fun Friday. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And today, what makes it even more exciting is adding a little spice to an egg hunt. So it's all kind of
Spice it up.
Easter month kind of themed. But you know what happens when you take just an ordinary egg hunt and throw some spice on it, some Tabasco? What happens?
You would throw Tabasco on it because you throw Tabasco on everything.
I do. It's so good.
So I don't know about your family, but egg hunts were always like a tradition for me. Not just like in our family now, but growing up when I was younger, having our egg hunt on Easter morning. The Easter bunny comes while we're all asleep, distributes all of these eggs in the yard, and then it is the kids' job to go collect them and find all the treasures inside. So that, to me, that has always been like just one of my favorite Easter traditions, like from being a little girl all the way to when I had my own children. It was a huge deal for me and the kids. And then when I met Randall, it was one of those traditions that I was pretty adamant that we were going to do.
Oh, yeah, you were. It's like, no, we are egg hunting. This is like a must. And for me, we had egg hunts, but there was never really a great focus to that. So just kind of growing up, I never really had that back story to it, but it was more of it's there. If we do it, we do it. If we don't, we don't. But yeah, whenever we married and just seeing your passion that you had for it, I was like, okay.
I get really excited about those kind of things. I mean, just not to be the one hunting like I loved doing as a kid, but passing on that tradition to my kids. And I do remember when we married, it was hard at first to get that tradition in because we also had other traditions that we all usually went to sunrise service. And so sunrise plus kids waking up early plus Easter egg hunt. And then we would stay for church after that. And it was
just an all day event,
and trying to like fit it in and not be like a pressure type thing, but when you're trying all those things in the beginning, it was a lot of trying to figure out like how we do this.
Being a blended family, I mean, we were, and we talk about that a lot, to where you are taking these two different family dynamics to where you already kind of have some of your ways set, your so-called traditions, things that you do already, and then trying to merge and trying to figure out, okay, what is our tradition going to look like without losing, some of that past stuff, right? Because our kids do need that, especially when it's new, especially when it's newer, that if they lose that, that's like they're losing a part of themselves. So they need that as well. And, when we started our blended family, we didn't know that. We were just trying to figure it out and try to, okay, are we doing it my way? Or are we doing it your way? Who's right? Who's wrong? And
mashing it all up and
trying to,
hoping for the best.
Figure it out. And, it really was a lot of challenges.
And I think and then once we finally were starting to figure it out, the kids were getting older.
Yeah.
And then it was like they didn't really care. You guys, teenagers.
You will wake up at 5 a.m. to do an egg hunt on Easter, and it's going to be fun.
You're going to smile. You're going to find. I start talking through my teeth. If you're watching on the YouTube, that's my mom coming out at me. But I'm like, you're going to enjoy this, darn it. And so it was hard because, we finally were getting the groove, and then the kids were at a point, maybe the older two were annoyed by it, but the youngest one was still excited. But, who wants to be egg hunting by yourself?
Right, yeah. Well, I don't know. That could be fun because then you get it all.
You do, yeah.
You get it all. You get all the chocolate, all the candy.
That is true. Shout out to all
stuff.
Those, only children
all
out
the
there.
Solo egg hunt, you got a leg up. I mean, you get it all. So that's okay. That's not too bad. Maybe this year I'll egg hunt by myself.
I'll hide eggs from you.
We started having solo egg hunts.
I mean, I was intense growing up. I don't know if I probably shared this story with you when I tried to get you to understand how passionate I was about egg hunting. But we would have the egg hunt. It would be just me at my grandma's house. Or the Easter Bunny would hide all the eggs in the morning. I would find all of them. Then I would bring them inside. I would go through all of it, get all the candy out. I would put the eggs back together, and then I would hide the eggs inside the house. Have I told you this before?
Yes.
And then I would go on my own egg hunt, and I would re-find, or I would convince my grandma she needed to hide them for me so I could go. I mean, I just
That's
loved
intense.
it.
No, and that spills over into that passion that you had when we got married.
And mind you, I was probably in like 8th grade.
Yeah. So it's real. It is real.
Man.
So yeah, no, that kind of led us though to kind of what we're going to share with you here in a few minutes on just different ways that you can spice up that egg hunt and still make it fun and powerful in your family that your kids enjoy, right? Because that's exactly where we got to a point to where it's like they weren't really having a lot of fun with it. It was more like forced fun. And
I was really good at forced fun.
Creating forced opportunities.
I really wanted them to enjoy this process. And what was funny is when we brought Susan into our family, which is the 18-year-old foster child student that we brought in, she was all about it.
Yeah, she was like a kid, like, yeah, Easter egg hunt, let's do it. Yeah. I'm all for it. And our kids are like, yeah, whatever.
They were not excited. So I really had my hands full trying to figure out how was I going to entice these children to be as excited. It's that mother manipulation that we're so good at. How am I going to get them excited about this egg hunt? So I started getting really creative.
Yeah, you did. But it took that. It took doing that, and we really just had a lot of memories from that, a lot of fun memories that really, taking it. Whenever we did the egg hunts, it's kind of like a lot of these events that we all enjoyed it once we actually got to doing it. And then whenever you really started spicing it up and throwing in all these added things to it, it's like, okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat thing.
Yeah, so. And then it's like that pressure next year. Like, how are you going to one-up this one?
Right, yeah. How are you going to one-up that egg hunt? So we're going to share all of those spicy little things that you can do with egg hunts just momentarily. So right after this announcement, y'all stay tuned.
Hey B-Fam, if you're looking for some fun, out-of-the-box date night ideas, you've got to check out the Adventure Challenge. They have books for couples, family, friends, and even solo adventures. So get one for you and your family, or they make a great gift idea.
Yeah, we really enjoy their products and just all the out-of-the-box things. So we decided to become affiliates with them just to share their products with you. We have an affiliate link that you can use below. So at checkout, use the promo code ENJOYTHEMOMENT for 10% off of your total purchase. This is just another way for you to be able to enjoy the moment. So back to our episode. So what we did to spice up these things, I mean, if you want to take an egg hunt and you want to say, you know what, let me just say why. Why is it important? Because it's Easter, y'all. I mean, Easter is about...
Are you going to say, okay, all right, are you fixing to say that Easter is all about the egg hunts? Because I think Jesus is... Why?
But that is so funny because there are so many arguments and stuff that we've heard and about, well, eggs shouldn't be a part of it and it's taken away from Jesus and everything. And we do want to just disclaimer, Easter is all about Jesus, is all about what he did on the cross. It is about the resurrection and, it's about that eternal life that he promised us and just the removal of sins and just declaring us, perfect for God because of what Jesus did, right? Us being imperfect, he who knew no sin was made to be sin so that we might be the righteousness of God. So that's,
preaching.
I just want to throw that disclaimer, right? I mean, so egg hunts is just part of the fun.
And can I throw in just a little shout out, just in case you didn't believe Randall for him trying to dig himself out of that hole right there. That on Prayers for a Mom, which is my other podcast that I have where we do a devotion Monday through Thursday, that we actually, this week's focus has been on preparing for Easter and really honing in on asking yourself, like, what does your holiday traditions look like? And are you including Jesus in that? So in case you were not really believing Randall, I'll save him and say that
I did. No, I had to catch myself on that one because, and it is true. And we don't want anyone to get offended or anything like that because, our heart is Jesus Christ, right? But the thing is we love having fun and being able to create fun moments that now you're pulling your kids into to really get them to understand and to just want to be a part and be involved and understand Easter and stuff like that. We throw in little fun things and games and things of that, and that's where the eggs come into play as well, right? So it's just a fun thing that we get to do in the Easter time as a memory of, just what this season is all about. So yeah, I know. Did I dig enough? Did I dig enough out of that one?
I think you have dug yourself out, but if you don't believe
I don't know if I need to keep digging,
and you are a female, go listen, and you can see that we do believe that Jesus is the actual reason we celebrate. But I do love even all the history that comes to how egg hunting even came about. And I remember looking into that and how in the spring and the fresh eggs that would come and people would decorate them and make them look pretty and take them to their neighbors. And it's just morphed into what it is now. And the world can take away Jesus out of the holiday. But I think when you're having these talks with your kids, that you have the fun, but you're teaching them the real reason. So
for sure.
I think we're out of it.
Okay, we dug deep enough?
I think we can now go
we can now talk about eggs?
To talk about eggs again. Yes.
I love it. So a good egg hunt. I mean, how can you do this and have fun even when your kids get older, right? So there's a few things. There's a few things that we've done in the past that have just really kept everyone engaged and having fun. And really kudos to Scarlett because she is that creative one with a strong passion for egg hunts to want to make this happen. So do you want to share?
Yeah, I'll share. This one's our favorite memory. The kids still talk about it. We laugh about it. I have never tried it again since then, but we had just moved into our house during this time and we have had a swimming pool for the first time.
Still do.
We do still have a swimming pool, but we had never had our own swimming pool before. And I got this brilliant idea. This was during the season with the kids transitioning of not really wanting to do this egg hunt. And I was trying to entice them into it more. So Randall's always really good about collecting his change throughout the year.
And she's really good at spending
I'm really good at finding ways to use his change. I used to have a McDonald's sweet tea habit that really just dug into
I started having to hide my change jar.
And I would find it.
And she would find it. And I started seeing all my quarters missing. I'm like, dang it.
Or I would grab it for stuff like this and let him know, hey, I hope it's okay. But, it'll usually equal in the hundreds of dollars.
Over time,
what he has, if he's able to hide it good enough from me. So I took all of his change, though, and I put it in the plastic eggs. And then I closed those plastic eggs up. And then I so excitedly went outside and dropped them in the pool, which is brilliant. I mean, if you're listening, hopefully, obviously you're listening or you wouldn't hear our voice, but can you just imagine it and think about it? Who would not
Underwater
be excited to dive into the pool and get out these eggs, find these eggs that they have no idea. Does it have quarters? Does it have pennies? How much are they going to be able to earn? I mean, the possibilities are endless.
That is true. But the problem that came in with the way we did it,
we being me,
we being her, is that she put a lot of change in these, and when they hit the bottom, they broke. And so now I had change all in the bottom of the pool, which if there are any pool owners know that a net will not get that in the deep end. It just won't pick up the quarters. And so the only way that you can get it is by diving into unheated pool in April where it's really cold. So, yeah.
That was the second problem, is that it was cold and none of the kids were on board. So we're telling you these ideas for you to use. This one is...
Well, when you use it, if you do an underwater... Because, I mean, it is really cool, an underwater egg hunt. But if you take it and you maybe only put one coin in it, or limit your coins.
Or get the good eggs, like not
eggs.
The cheap eggs that just break. Get the ones that are going to snap together before you do it. And then maybe drop them softly, not plop them in so they fall. So, and then you might want to make sure you have a heated pool, or you have kids that are really about getting in the cold water.
Even that, the kids, they loved it, and that, I just gripe because I'm the one who has to clean it. But they loved it. They loved doing it, and they are normally good with colder water, and they did really well. So myself, I'm not a cold water guy.
One of the kids even went and got his wetsuit.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, got my wetsuit, and I mean, this was how dedicated they were to doing an underwater egg hunt. So
I remember laying in bed, though, thinking, does copper put out some sort of chemical into the pool? Is Randall going to be like so mad at me?
Yeah, there were a lot of factors that kind of went into them all being in the bottom of the pool. So yeah, it was really just kids, make sure you get them all, please.
But it's a fun memory that we talk about really now. We still laugh about. So just learn from our mistakes. Don't do the things that we did. And if you have older kids, this is perfect. Now, it was really hard for those that were having to go in the deep end to retrieve these eggs, but those are the ones.
Hey, they were troopers and they did it. So now that is one egg hunt that they remember and loved and laugh. We still laugh about it. That was just fun. Underwater egg hunt. So there that one is. Another one, a glow in the dark egg hunt. So maybe you're doing this like early in the morning before the sun comes up, or maybe when the sun goes down right before that Sunday morning. Maybe you're doing a Saturday night glow in the dark egg hunt.
Yeah, and I think maybe even if you're so busy like we were on Sundays, if it comes down to it, that's what you do Sunday night, or especially with blended families. You may not have your kids on the holiday. You may have to, switch things up a little bit. So using that, and just beefing it up. Okay, if I can't have them on Sunday morning like I would hope to, well, when can we do this? So now you can be flexible with any time to do it. And so using that nighttime, and they have different things that glow in the dark, or you can put glow sticks inside of them.
Really cool.
You can put glow stickers on them. There's glow paint. There is so many options with that when it comes to the glow in the dark. You might even just put a stick on the outside of it. Just anything to make that egg
stand out
in the dark. And I mean, just hide and seek and playing in the dark is fun already.
Yeah.
So now you add in a little extra challenge to it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, glow in the dark. That's a really cool idea. And then the other one that was really fun was the scavenger hunt. So throwing a scavenger hunt into that.
Yeah, you got to really make them work for it. When Randall looks at me to explain these, because he was present, but
she was the creative. But it's like every egg you got told you where to go, or it might have been a riddle or something of where to find the next egg. And
you know what, as you're saying this, because we did talk about this beforehand, obviously, and there has been it where we've done it here at the house, a scavenger hunt, and telling you, but as you're saying it, it sparked this memory that the kids were just telling me the other day, where we have so many, and this is genius. I'm patting myself on the back here. But I say it's genius. It's genius for blended families, because in a blended family, you have so many family members that want to see your kids during the holidays. And so one of the years, I had each of the grandparents. Do you remember this now?
Yeah.
I had each grandparent had a treat for the kids at their house. And so I had created this scavenger hunt where each clue told them whose house we were going to next, but they had to figure it out. And then I drove them there with their Easter basket, and then they went in, they said hello real quick, gave hugs. That grandparent gave them the treat for their basket, and then we went on, we got the clue from that, and then we went on to the next house. The grandparents loved it because they got to see the kids that day. We had aunts and uncles in there too, and great-grandparents grandparents added in there. So for us, because we are a blended family and it can extend to about 8 different households, it worked really well. So
So what a way to bring in not just your family, but your extended family by doing that. So yeah, it was just that's a fun thing. So those are just some fun ideas.
And you can find them on Pinterest, like just go in Pinterest and say Easter scavenger hunt, and it'll already be created for you too. Find some free ones on there. So if you're not creative and you're like, that sounds fun, but I don't have time for that, go on there and just print that off and use that.
So those are 3 fun ways: in the pool, glow in the dark, and scavenger hunt. So those are just some ways to spice up the egg hunt side of it. But then also the things that you put inside the egg as well. So there were a couple things that we do. Money is always the big one. You know, putting in money, dollar bills. I mean, you putting in a hundo, then I mean you
That's
got
when we like
everybody's
to-
attention.
Yeah, invite the uncles and the aunts to the egg hunt for that.
Yeah, everybody, like neighbors are coming over. Hey guys. So you money is always a big thing. But another thing that's fun to be able to put in there that you've done as well is coupons. So the coupons of things that maybe it's going to get in an ice cream together, or it's a date night of some sort that that's that coupon. And so it's just something that you're writing out, and it can be some little fun things to do together. But as they're opening those, and they're getting that, maybe it's a back rub or something like that. I mean, if you want to go that way, too. So it's just doing little write-in coupon type things that they can come redeem. Like, here you go, I'm cashing in our date to go grab some ice cream. Let's do this. So the coupons are really cool, and that's kind of an out of the box thing that you can throw into any one of these. You probably can't do that one in the pool because it would get wet and deteriorate.
Yeah, don't combine those two things.
But glow in the dark
together.
and scavenger hunt, you could definitely do something like that with it. Not unless you get really creative and you have some type of way that you can do that underwater. So I'm going to put that one in everyone else's court to create that one. So there you go.
Well, and also don't put your boiled eggs in the pool. That doesn't usually go over very well either.
Yeah. Don't do boiled eggs in the pool. I do remember that.
But there is other fun ways to even just doing the boiled eggs. Like we, for the longest, just did the traditional, dollar something that you buy the pack. You have the little tablets and the vinegar and the little wire spoon, and you're dyeing the eggs that way. You're writing maybe a message on there with the white crayon first, and then you're dyeing the eggs. So there's that way. But you can even, once the kids get older, start really spicing that up too. You can buy kits that are super intense. To me, they always have way too many instructions, and when your kid's little, you're like, why in the world would I attempt that glitter fancy thing with my child? But as the kids get older, this is the perfect time to get some of those harder egg dyeing kits and start including those in the process.
For sure. Yeah. One of the ones I really remember is the tie-dyed. So that was always a fun one to do. And, you're using shaving cream and, was it food coloring or something?
Yeah, you just put the shaving. Yeah, because I think they'd have tie-dye kits, but they're also if you want to be cheap
homemade.
or do your homemade or just make it more fun that way. And you just put shaving cream in a pan and then sprinkle your food coloring on the top and get a knife or a toothpick or something and kind of drag it through there to make a design. Then you put your egg in there and just roll it all around. Then let it sit for a while. Then you wipe that off and you have a beautiful egg underneath.
Beautiful tie-dyed egg. So yeah, just really being able to use the whole aspect of egg hunts, right? Because that's what we're talking about, is just how we can use this as a fun time for your family, but dyeing your eggs together in different ways as well. So it's not just about the egg hunt, but it's taking the concept of coming together and dyeing your eggs. In fact, another part of dyeing the eggs that we did was we got to thinking one day, and it led me into research, is man, okay, how did they dye eggs back in the day? When we didn't have all the food coloring and the shaving cream and stuff like that, I mean, what were they doing, or were they doing anything? So we looked at a natural approach, and it led us into a really cool thing. So we tried it one year, but this is something fun for your family too, to just get away from all the stuff you can buy, just all the normal things that you would think of, but do it natural with foods. So what we did was we took red cabbage, and if you boil red cabbage, the water turns red. You get a good red color.
So beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. And then if you take your yellow onion, and you're just taking that outside peel, the normally the stuff that you would throw away on a yellow onion, and you're taking a bunch of those, all the outside peels, and putting those in water, and you're boiling that, and then it turns the water yellow. And you can do that with red onions to get a red color. And so it's just really taking a lot of these food products and boiling them to get that colored water that you use to dye eggs. But then it's like a step up. It's like, okay, well, how do you get designs and stuff on it? So, we know how to get the color, but the designs, what they would do is they would take flowers, like flowers you would go pick in your yard, and you would put that flower, you'd just take the bud, the flower bud, and you would press that up against the egg. You take your boiled eggs, you boil your eggs, right? And then you would take that flour and press it up against that. And you might do 1, 2 of them. You could do like a clover or whatever, just anything to kind of create a design. You press it up against that, and then you take I use pantyhose, but you can use like any type of tight little cloth, or they got those cooking cloths or anything like that.
They're called like a loin cloth.
Something like that. But you take that, and then you tie a knot on that to where it keeps the flowers pressed against the egg, and then you drop those into your colored water. And whenever we did that, we took it, you let those soak for a little bit, and you can Google that, and there's so many different ways to be able to do it naturally like that. But whenever you take it out and you cut that cloth off and you pull the flower, it is just like this beautiful flower and this beautiful color, from using just food.
You want to use it like for decoration, not necessarily just going and hiding outside, but it's really cool to see and just bringing your kids into that with you and showing them how things were done way back when.
So you get history, and then you're like doing an art project basically together. So those are just some fun ways to where now you're taking just an ordinary egg hunt that can get old, it can get boring, your kids start being like, but it's still something to kind of use as a celebration in the Easter season to celebrate Jesus Christ, right? But to be able to kind of celebrate the season, but to pull your kids in, just create fun moments and memories. These egg hunts, we still laugh about them. Our kids bring them up. And as a blended family, how big is that, right? To where you're creating these fun opportunities for us all to come together and create these fun laughing moments. And it's just so much
even
health
if you have
to your family.
Force the fun, manipulate everyone into joining you, and then they like it.
But what happens though is the force, since there's so much passion behind it, the force is getting creative to them to want to participate.
That is the real trick.
That's the real trick right there. So good stuff. But it really did. We by doing things like this, you will create so many fun memories that your kids will just, as like we're saying, as them being adults, they still bring these things up to us. Hey, remember when we did this, or remember when we did that? And it's like, yeah, that was really cool.
I don't know if we've ever said this on the podcast yet, but I'm going to tell our news. Maybe we have said it. I'm super excited because we're fixing to have a baby in the family again.
We are.
Not that I'm pregnant or Randall.
Yeah. That'd be weird.
Our son will be having a baby here in the next few months. So our dynamics are fixing to shift again too.
Yeah.
So now we're going to
grandparents, like grandparents.
Yes.
That's weird.
And we get to do all of these fun. It's like it never dies, guys. This tradition.
Egg hunts forever.
It lives on. And now I'm going to have fresh meat.
Oh, we're going to be great grandparents.
But I am excited to see how our children take the things that we did as traditions and then coming up with their own as well, too. But to see what they carry on into their homes.
For sure. Good stuff. So hopefully this has helped spice up your egg hunts. And maybe you've never had egg hunts before and you're like, hey, that sounds really fun. We should incorporate this. Or maybe you've been doing it and just needed some fresh ideas. So take those, run with them. We always love adding new things and stuff like that. So get creative with your egg hunts. But really, it's just a tool to create a fun opportunity for your family to hang out, laugh together, love together, connect together. So it's the possibilities are endless.
And we are living proof that you can love Jesus and believe that Easter is all about him and still
have fun
and still do an egg hunt too.
For sure. Well, listen, guys, we love you. Go do a creative egg hunt, spice it up, throw some Tabasco on that,
Tag
and
us.
call it
Tag
done.
it. Hashtag enjoying your blended family.
So, all right, guys, we'll see you on the next one.
Hey, thanks for joining us for another fun Friday here at Enjoying Your Blended Family. All the links we talked about today are in the show notes. And if you enjoyed listening, be sure to subscribe because it's free and it lets you know when we have another episode out for you to listen to.
And if you don't mind helping us out so we can start reaching more people, leave us a rating and review. You never know when we'll give you a shout out. Until next time, have fun being intentional and remember to enjoy the moment.